welcome to a new video. I am back on a bank and I've just rocked up to the big pit in the Cotswolds. Now the barrow is all loaded up behind me, ready to go, and I just thought I'd do a bit of an update now because, to be honest, you're not going to be able to see a lot. It is just gone midnight and I've just got to the lake, so filming wise I'm not going to do anything really until the morning. So the next time you'll probably see me, unless I catch a fish, will probably be in the morning, having a coffee, letting you know the game plan. But essentially I've come down for a very short overnighter. I was here last time, managed to catch a fish on a morning session, but because I got here so early I was absolutely shattered the rest of the day. Now I've just spent the weekend with the family. I've actually been out for a meal this evening and took the little one home, obviously put him to bed, saw the missus for a few hours, and then I've loaded up the van and come up to the lake. So essentially just trying to make the most of the time I got, you know, trying to balance family life and fishing time and filming and all that sort of stuff. So that is the game plan. Now last time I did catch a fish on a morning session. The swim I caught it out of has form for morning bite, so I'm actually going to basically head straight down there and hopefully get three rods out nice and quick, put a bit of a spread of boilies out there and get my head down for a bit of sleep, hopefully to be up bright and early in the morning and watch the water and hopefully catch a fish on that morning feeding period. So anyway, let's stop messing around, let's stop chatting. The next time you'll probably see me is likely to be in the morning. Anyway, let's get on the move, get down to the swim, get fishing, and let's see if we can catch another mega Cotswold carp. See you in a bit. Right, the rods are out then, we are fishing. They've been out there for about an hour. And I'm fishing in a different swim. Actually heard a fish show as I was walking past. I stopped for a bit, heard of what I think was a second show, and I thought I can't ignore that. So I've got three out there, same distance. Had a bit of a lead around. Seems to be very similar this swim to the other one. 9 wraps or so, just off the back of the weed. Seems to be quite nice and clear and silty, few sort of hard areas. But yeah, seems really good spot, good area. So I've just dropped 3 out of that mark, 3 hard hookers on the hairs. And I put about 1 kilo of 18 millers over the top of them, so a bit of food out there for hopefully getting them grubbing about and we get a fish. But yeah, they're all out there sweet. Hopefully we get a bite, hopefully we don't get any issues with the craze. The home is tucked up in there. I've got it on a right angle just to avoid any rain I think going to be coming in. So hopefully it shouldn't cut up underneath it. I've also got the brolly pulled out really wide with the sides out really far to give me some extra protection, and I'm tucked up in there nicely. But yeah, just gonna have a tin of cider and I'm gonna get my head down and hopefully get woken up by a carp. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed we get one. Morning then. So it's a miserable and wet morning, not ideal for filming, but yes, nothing happened in the night, so it is a coffee update for you. But I saw a couple of fish show, which is why I got into this swim. So I was going to go into the crack den where I had that fish from last time, but I heard a couple of fish show as I was walking along, stayed in the swim for a little bit just watching, and I think I've seen another one show. Now they're further out than I'm fishing, but out where they were showing, it's just weed. So I've basically just sort of had a little lead around. It did cause a bit of disturbance, but I had no choice. I've not fished this swim before. So I had a little lead around, found a nice area, and it was exactly the same distance as in the other swim I was fishing, so about 9 wraps. Nice silty run, a couple of harder spots amongst it, and all I've done is put 3 hard hooker bottom baits out at that distance, and then just put a spread of 18 millers over the top of it with a catapult. So nice and simple tactics. I was able to get the rods out relatively quickly, so happy days really. But I've not seen anything this morning. I've been watching a little bit, stood out in the rain with the Fortis brolly, not seen anything showing. But last time I didn't see anything show either, and so I just got a bite out of the blue. So let's hope that's what happens this time. But anyway, we've got the morning to go, so let's hope it happens. I'm relatively confident. 12-13 degrees, wet, bit of wind on the water, looks pretty good for it. So yeah, I think we can have one, but only time will tell. So I'll catch up with you in a bit, but let's hope it happens. Right, so I just wanted to talk to you quickly about sort of rigs and stuff. Now, normally I tend to try and talk about it when I cast the rods out and show you the rigs on the GoPro just before I cast them out into the pond. But because it was dark last night, I didn't get a chance to do that. So I just wanted to show you what I'm using. Now, last time I was here, I was actually fishing 2 rods on a Ronnie and 1 on a bottom bait. It's still a Ronnie, but a bottom bait version of it. Now, I had the fish on the bottom bait. And recently I've had a few sessions where I've been catching more fish on bottom baits, fishing quite heavy rigs. It seems to be sort of tricking them up quite well. I think it's because so many people nowadays use like balance bait, wafters, pop-ups, all that sort of stuff. I think the fish are used to taking in something that is quite light and being able to eject it quite easy. So I think if you use something that's heavy, they're not so used to it, and I think it drops into the bottom of the mouth more. And if you use it on a rig like this, which is actually designed to twist and flip really quickly, I think they haven't got a lot of time to try and get rid of the bait, so you've got more chance of hooking them. So this is what I'm using. So it's a version of a Ronnie rig, but it's just tied up to suit a bottom bait presentation. So as you can see, instead of having a mini ring swivel and a bead, I've actually got a hair tied onto it there, and then I've got the hook bait, which in this case is a cured bug 15 miller, so a straight bottom bait. Which is nice and heavy, and as you can see, the hair comes out just before it goes around onto the point, and that's because it makes the point heavy. So when a fish takes it and it turns, as you can see, it just turns straight away and just digs straight in. So I think it's really effective. I've caught quite a few fish on it recently, got a lot of confidence in it now, and it seems to be something they're just not used to picking up. So in nature, the Ronnie rig is quite heavy because it's obviously got quite a lot of metal in it. I think that helps aid this bottom bait presentation because it just makes everything heavy. As that fish sucks that in, it's going to drop quicker into the bottom of the mouth. And I think the quicker it can drop in their mouth, the faster it's going to turn and dig in and get a hook hold. To aid the weight of it as well, I also had a couple of sort of weighted beads on there just to make everything that little bit heavier than normal. So obviously it helps it sit on the bottom nice and flush, but also when that fish sucks that in, everything's just trying to pull down and pull that rig down into the bottom of the mouth, and obviously aid it in obviously getting that hook hold. So that's what I've been using, that's what I caught the fish on last time on here, and that's what I've caught a few fish out of Syndicate on recently. It's a great little presentation, and it's something that I'm going to be using a lot going forward. So yeah, if you're looking at something different, give it a try. Hopefully it'll catch you a few fish. Right then, so you join me under the brolly. Now, if I'm not watching the camera and looking at you guys, that's because I'm trying to watch the water, which is what I've been doing all morning. I'm desperately trying to see something show so I can put a rod on it, but as it stands, absolutely nothing's giving itself away. So in terms of shows on here, I've seen a couple of shows each time I've been here, but not many. The shows seem to be very subtle and very few and far between, so you really do have to put a lot of time in, concentrate on trying to locate them, watch the water as much as you can, because if you don't, you're probably going to miss something. And you know, I'm only fishing short sessions on here, like overnighters. I did a morning last time, managed to have one, but yeah, I'm not really putting a lot of time on it at the moment. I'm just trying to put the feelers in, get an idea of the place, you know, try and get a feel for the place, try and work out some of the swims, and just build up a bit of a picture. At the end of the day, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and you need to sort of slowly sort of collect the pieces to obviously, hopefully, finally make the puzzle and obviously start putting something together and getting some results on it. But yeah, this place for me this year is literally just a secondary water, somewhere I can come for like overnighters and just drop on now and then and just see if I can get like that opportunist bite, maybe see something that I can drop on, get a fish off maybe. But obviously we've got the other water, our other syndicate, Phil's Lake, which is full of absolute chunks now. And although we're not really big fish anglers, it is nice to actually have a water with some really good quality fish in. And so it's very hard not to go there. So yeah, that's where we're putting a lot of our time on this year, and well, the rest of the year anyway. And this place is literally just going to be sort of the odd opportunist sort of session, dropping in for a change of scenery. It is very nice, although it's a bit noisy with the road. It is really nice that I've got 30 acres in front of me and only one on the lake, so you are literally fishing against the fish, which is very, very rare in modern days. So it used to be what it was like when I was younger and I sort of first started getting taken out by my dad. But nowadays, it is very rare to be able to get that opportunity of really fishing as it should be. So yeah, I love it. But the lure of bigger fish on Phil's does sort of take hold. But anyway, we've got a few hours to go. So hopefully I see something or one of the rods goes rattling off and we'll have something to show you. But if not, it's all about learning and all about putting it all together. And hopefully it'll pay off in future sessions. Right then, so we had a bit of a break in the weather, so I thought I'd pack everything down. So everything is now packed down on the barrow. The rods are still out, I am still fishing, but I've also packed the alarms and everything away, just trying to make the most of my time. But one thing I just wanted to quickly tell you about is, you've probably seen it a few times in this video, and other videos if you've been watching the channel for a while, and that's this bit of kit, the Fortis brolly. Now, you don't need to buy a Fortis brolly, but they are very, very good, and they're pretty well priced as well for the quality of the product. Now, the reason I want to talk about it is because you've probably watched me in this video, stood by the rods, holding a brolly, not getting wet. I hate wearing waterproofs because I get so hot when I'm wearing them, and that's a great way of not having to wear waterproofs but also staying dry. Now, obviously you can't have one while you're playing a fish, so if it's absolutely pouring down and you've got a fish on, you're going to get wet. But I don't mind getting wet in that situation. This time of year is so warm, I get so hot and sweaty in waterproofs, I don't like wearing them. And you dry out so quickly nowadays, especially if you've got a bivvy or whatever you're going to sit in. You dry out after an hour or so I don't really mind getting a bit damp here and there. But these are a great bit of kit for keeping your stuff dry. So I've just packed down, I've got my main bag under it at the moment. I just had the camera under it on the tripod, and it just means that it keeps everything nice and dry, protects obviously the expensive camera gear. It's really good if you're trying to get shots of stuff and it is raining. You can hold the brolly with one hand, play around with the camera on the tripod with the other, or you can just leave the camera underneath the brolly itself and then get some different shots that way. It's great for watching the water, not getting obviously soaking wet then. It's great for walking around the lake, when you first get to a lake, sort of walking around, seeing where you want to get in and all that sort of stuff. So they're really versatile bit of kit to keep your stuff nice and dry. So obviously you don't have to buy a Fortis one, but they are mega bit of kit, and I really do think they're worth buying. So just a little bit of a shout out to Fortis there. I do highly rate them. But anyway, I think I'm actually going to finish the video here because I'm pretty much going to reel the rods in a bit, and there's not going to be much else to really tell you about. So hopefully you've liked the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Now, if you're new to the channel and it's the first time you're watching, please subscribe. We put out regular content every week, generally on a Tuesday around 6 o'clock or thereabouts. We are going to look at putting out the odd extra video as well. That will be probably for other species, different maybe styles of videos and that sort of thing. So we're going to keep our Tuesday upload for our regular in-session carp content, but maybe on like a Friday or Saturday we might upload different videos, maybe fishing for other species, different sorts of stuff, that sort of thing. So if you're interested and you want to watch regular content, smash that subscribe button and also give this video a like. Anyway, until next time, get out on the bank, be lucky, hopefully you're going to catch more than me. more than I have in this session. Anyway, get out there, be lucky, see you in the next video.